Fort Bridger was established in 1843 to service immigrant traffic by Jim Bridger and his partner Louis Vasquez. For the next century, this area known as the Bridger Valley served as a crossroads for the Oregon and California Trail, the Mormon Trail, the Pony Express route, the Transcontinental Railroad, and the Lincoln Highway. Inside the valley reside a couple of towns by the name of Mountain View and Lyman, with just 6 miles of two-lane road separating these settlements. Also dotting the map along the Bridger Valley Trail are Yeri, Robertson, Fort Bridger, and Milburn. Together, these communities form a strong co-op with lifelong friendships and bonds that span across the entire valley. But tonight, we'll have to put all that on hold.
The Bridger Valley Volleyball is live on mylocalradio.com. It's time to pick a side, Mountain View or Lyman. The greatest rivalry in Wyoming is back for another edition with every set, spike, and save brought to you live and in HD, only on your home for Bridger Valley Sports. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Reese Auto Service, West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, Trona Valley Community Federal Credit Union, Blacks Fork Dental, Evanston Regional Hospital, Plains Tire, the Come On In of Casper, and Auto Farm Chevrolet. With the opening serve quickly approaching, let's head down to the My Local Radio broadcast booth to hear from the voice of the Bridger Valley, Jake Hibbard.
The first time they met, it was for second place midway through the regular season. The second time it was for a number 2 seed at regionals. And now a third time just a week and a day after that second meeting. This season on the line. Mountain View and Lyman playing in the regional consolation semifinals, with the winner earning a berth into state and the loser, well, their season is over. It's the Volleyball Part 3, and Jake Hibbard's here joining you on a frosty Saturday morning in Fremont County. Pre-game coverage when we return.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at West Star Printing design your business cards. Now with same day and next day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit West Star Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. West Star Printing, 307-789-5202.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Welcome into the Big Country Properties pregame show here in Lander at Lander Valley High School. How did we end up here with Lyman and Mountain View part 3 on the season, and not for first and second place as it was last year, not for third and fourth with both teams already into the championship or into state next week. No, instead, this is the season on the line for both of these teams today, and let's run you through what happened in yesterday's bracket. First contest had Pinedale sweeping Lovell, an expected one. Tis the number 1 seed taking down number 4 to jump into the semifinals. And then Lander Valley, the home team, took down Lyman in 4 sets. Lyman won the first set, 26-24, coming back from down 5 late in the contest, but it was all Lander after that, and that put Lyman into consolation. They then defeated and eliminated Lovell on the year to get into the consolation semifinals in where we are right now. On the other side of the bracket, number 1 Worland disposed of Big Piney in 3 sets, and then Mountain View took care of Powell in 3 as well. That set up a semifinal matchup, Worland versus Mountain View. That went 25-20, 25-21, 25-21 in favor of Worland. And that put Mountain View into consolation semis. And it happened to be the exact same consolation semifinal that Lyman is in. So we have number 2 and number 3 from the Southwest Conference playing in today's game in elimination. Lyman is taking their hitting lines right now. Mountain View in the passing as we're about 8 minutes away from the start of this one. Yesterday, Brooklyn Walker had to sit out late in the Lovell contest, and that was one they probably could allow to have her sit out as they won in 3 sets. And we'll hear a bit more from Brescia Hansen about how that all worked out later. But she is playing today. She had a sprained thumb that she suffered in practice Thursday. Mandy Eyre not feeling her best. She was a little under the weather and had to sit out against Lovell as well. So that led to some closer scores than we may have expected coming in. As for Mountain View, they're all healthy, but looking for that serve-receive to return, which has been a problem all year long. As far as one match, it's great. One match, it's not as good. And so they'll be looking for a little better in the serve-receives. We'll hear from Coach Timms in just a minute as well. We're here in the Big Country Properties pregame show where broker Bobby Dozal is part of the number 1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley. Give her a call at 307-8. Let me start that over again. Give her a call at 307-782-3356 if you're looking to buy or sell. It's land or ranch listings, commercial or residential, or you can just go visit bigcountryproperties.com. That's bigcountryproperties.com. Bringing you the pregame show. We're about 7 minutes away from first set action of Mountain View and Lyman here on a 10 a.m. contest on a cold morning in Fremont County. We'll be back to hear from Brescia Hansen after this, and then we'll hear from Diana Timms. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Brescia Hansen joins me, head coach for Lyman, and you lose to Lander in 5 sets yesterday, or excuse me, it was in 4 sets yesterday. Run me through that contest a little bit if you would.
Well, we started off kind of slow, and when I reflect on matches, I really do a bad job recollecting. But we started off slow, we were behind, and I can't remember exactly how far behind we were at the end of the match, but we ended up gutting it out and coming back, and I believe we won 26-24, which was a huge, huge win. And then from there, honestly, we had trouble getting in a rhythm. They were aggressive offensively, and it got us on our heels, and we just couldn't ever string together any substantial number of points.
From what I understand, someone was texting me, I think you were down 5 in that first set, and then you were able to come back, and then it flipped around. You lost the next 3 sets, and then you had to beat Lovell, and you get them in 3, but that third set sounded like it was anything but easy.
Yeah, the third set, I mean, nothing to take. Lovell played well. They kept returning balls that we thought should have gone to the floor, and they played tough defensively. But my setter, I had to sit her out part of the second and the third set. She had a jammed thumb. My outside hitter, Mandy Eyre, was sick during the match, so she came out in that third game, and I had to kind of call on some younger, inexperienced kids who were a little nervous, I think, in what they were doing, but they ended up doing a pretty good job.
Brooklyn jams her thumb in practice on Thursday. Of course, the last opportunity before you go to regionals, and then she re-jams it again yesterday. Is she starting today in this elimination match, I would imagine?
You bet. Yeah, I'm going to put her out there, and we're going to see what happens. She's a pretty tough kid. You ask her something, you get one-word answers with her, but she's smiling this morning, so we're going to put her in there and hope for the best.
When you did have to go to someone else, where did you go with the setter and the outside with Mandy having to sit out and Brooklyn?
Yeah, I went to Charles C. Rose, sophomore setter, one of my setters from my JV team. I put her in there for Brooklyn. She had some nerves, but then she settled down and did a pretty good job for us. And then Caroline Bradshaw, freshman, she was way out of position. She's my other setter on my JV team, and she played back row for Mandy while Mandy ran and puked in the bathroom, and she was in the center of our serve receive and was playing middle back defense, and I knew I could count on her. She's just a pretty tough kid.
Well, I haven't even mentioned it, but we'll finish off. It's, of course, Mountain View and Lyman to finish it out, and you know, in the regular season, it's kind of like the fun rivalry thing. You want to beat them. But this almost seems like either way, it's almost a little bit of a sad note, because one way or another, either you're eliminated or people that you know really well are, and it doesn't seem like it should come down this way.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's good for the Bridger Valley to have both of our teams represented at state. It says a lot about the quality of kids that we have living where we live, and unfortunately that's not going to happen this year. So I'm sure we'll both go and play our guts out, and whoever comes out on the losing end of that's going to be upset, but we'll sure be, after we get over it, either team, I'm sure we'll be cheering each other on.
All right, Coach Hansen, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks so much.
Thank you to Brescia Hansen for joining us pregame. We got her just before the match. It's an early morning for everyone, and us included. We're here on the Big Country Properties pregame show, and go ahead and visit bigcountryproperties.com. Maybe you're not even looking. You just like looking at the pictures of new houses, and hey, maybe that gets you in the mood to upgrade. We'll take a look around. It's not just Uinta, it's also Lincoln County if you're looking around at real estate. That's bigcountryproperties.com. We will be back with Diana Timms, head coach of the Mountain View Buffaloes, next on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on mylocalradio.com. It's Elimination Saturday.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
I have Diana Timms, head coach for Mountain View, and we have an elimination game today of the two Bridger Valley teams. It doesn't seem like it should come down this way, does it?
No, it's not quite fair, I don't think. I think that both teams are good teams, and hate to see one team go home.
You know, I'm trying to think back, and I can't remember a time when Lyman and Mountain View weren't both at state. How long has that been?
Oh, gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know the last time. Usually we both make it, so...
Now, you get your first win over Powell. Tell me a little bit about that match first and how that went for you.
We just had a good match. It's hard. It was a little bit slower paced of a game, so sometimes it's hard to keep the focus and stay aggressive all the time. But my girls did a nice job serving tough, and they stayed aggressive as hitters. You know, all positive hitting efficiencies on all my hitters, and our setter worked hard. And defensively, they were ready, and they did well.
I was getting updates as I was coming over South Pass of how that Warland game was going, and I think it was 25-20, 25-21, and then 25-21, so they were all close. It sounded like you kind of, a lot of times, got off to a slower start in that set, though.
Yeah, it seemed like we'd get down a few, and then we'd have to battle back, and that's just a hard situation, you know, when there's high emotions and both teams are wanting to, you know, advance to that next round. But, you know, overall, Warland was just a very scrappy team. No matter what we sent to them, they were picking it up and they were hustling. So kudos to them. They did a nice job with that.
Early matches are always tough to play in, but this is a little bit different of that. Number one, it's into state or you're all done. And then number two, you're playing Lyman. And that just seems like this is kind of a crazy match to be happening at 10 a.m. How do you feel your girls are doing out on the gym as you're getting ready to play?
Well, they act like they're ready. They're excited for the game, and I just hope that they play their best, because if they do their best, good things will happen.
Well, I guess from what you saw yesterday to today, what would you like to see? Maybe just a little bit crisper in a game that we know is going to be crazy one way or another.
I'd like to see our serve receive improve just a little bit, so that we can have more in-system balls and make sure that we're have good balls to take a good swing at, and run a good offense, and less serving errors, little things, the little things that make a big difference.
That's Coach Timms for Mountain View. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Now, as we close out the Big Country Properties starting pregame show, let's get the starters for both Lyman and Mountain View.
Starters for Lyman.
Mandier, outside, senior. Emma Nelson, right side, junior. Kendall Dickerson, middle, sophomore.
Sage Bradshaw, libero, freshman.
Bryce Hansen, outside, sophomore.
Madison Harris, middle, senior. Sierra Heaton, DS, senior.
Brooklyn Walker, setter, junior.
Starters for Mountain View.
Haley Stevens, outside, senior.
Kylie Dillinger, middle, junior.
Ashley Timms, right side, freshman.
Cortland Condis, DS, senior.
Allie Rinker, outside, junior.
Casey Bugis, libero, sophomore.
Camry Hutchings, setter, sophomore.
Emily Bugis, DS, sophomore.
Caitlin Timms, serving specialist, senior.
Olivia Meeks, middle, sophomore.
When I was in foster care,
your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
Well, thank you for joining us here at Lander Valley High School on a Saturday morning consolation semifinals, Lyman versus Mountain View. We do not have video capabilities today. The NFH Network has sole rights of those video, but we do have a working scoreboard, and we'll have a rotating wheel of the players on the court today, just to refresh your memory as you see them switch around right now. On mylocalradio.com, we've got Lyman and Mountain View's rotations going on. And then we have the Benedict's Market and True Value scoreboard in the lower right. Again, we're not even allowed to record a picture of a scoreboard, so that will be done digitally as well. Set number one about to start. Mountain View in the dark purple jerseys, black shorts, save for the libero in the white jersey, Casey Bugis, number 3, the sophomore. Well, Lyman in the white jerseys, except for the libero, the freshman, Sage Bradshaw in the black. Again, Lyman coming out to the left of the net in set number 1. We're in the auxiliary gym, so it's a big, long, high set of bleachers on one side of the gym and then a big gymnasium. They got 2 courts, so you got the long bleachers and then you got the gym on the other side, a tiger across the back of that far sideline. And we've got the down official taking a look at the Mountain View rotation. Substitutions have already been made for Lyman as Madison Harris, the back middle, subbed in for the libero, Sage Bradshaw. And there, as we start off, the rotation wheel has flipped. Caitlin Timms is the opening server, which has Casey Bugis starting on the bench. She will come in as soon as the serving run is over. And we are underway here in the volleyball part 3. This one in regionals. Set up on the Lyman side. Bryce Hansen tips it over 2 blockers. Picked up by Cortland. Set from Hutchings. And behind the back bump from Timms back to Lyman side. Touch from Air. Then to Walker. To the middle. Dickerson winds up. She's blocked. Diving save made by Walker. And then Rinker touches it down and another save made by Walker. Playing with the sprained thumb on the left hand. Left side attack. Rinker goes through the hands of Sage Bradshaw. And a point goes Mountain View's way. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 1-0 the score. Caitlin Timms, the senior serving specialist, floats it over. Hansen with the first touch up for Lyman and the ensuing attack. Down the line, pushes it off the hands of Hutchings and point back Lyman's way. 1-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 1 kill for Hansen and 1 for Rinker. In to serve, it's Kendall Dickerson, or back to serve. And Dickerson calls out, switching her rotation up in the front line. Sends it over to first touch from Bugis. Now into the contest for Mountain View. A left-handed swing from the middle. It's Olivia Meeks. Bumped up from Walker. Back to Hansen. Slaps it on a cross court. About 12 feet back. Condis picks it up. At the left side, it's Rinker. Bounces it off the block of Harris. Back to Lyman side. Walker sets up Hansen off 2 blockers. And it's through the hands of Meeks and Timms. Another point for Lyman. 2-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Thank you to Bobby Dolezal and Big Country Properties for sponsoring that first set for the pregame shows. We welcome you into a first set action. 2-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. High return from Cortland Condis, and Camry Hutchings sets up to Meeks, who goes long and out of bounds. 3-1 early on in favor of Lyman. Kendall Dickerson to serve once again. There should be a pen. I guess you've got a pen. Thank you. High return from Condis. Back set from Hutchings. And, it was to Meeks or Rinker. Either way, it was over one behind another. It's an error on the overset between Meeks and Rinker running the tandem, and it's 4-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kendall Dickerson floats it over for Lyman on the left side of the net over to Mountain View on the right. Hutchings to the outside. This time it's a left-handed punch from Rinker. It's just inbounds. That set was too high as well, but the kill for Rinker makes it 4-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Set number 1 here. Back to serve and in for the first time today, Emily Bugis, sophomore DS. A week ago, it was a 4-set victory for Mountain View over Lyman. The first set went 31-29. Right side set, Harris is blocked by Rinker. She bumps it out of the net, slapped over from Hansen. Back to Mountain View on the right. Rinker set up from Hutchings, and a kill for Allie Rinker down the line. And off hard of the hands of Mandy Air, goes skying up, hits the back white wall near the scoreboard. Third kill for Allie Rinker. She is usually a bit of a slow starter in contests. She has 3 kills and all 3 points for Mountain View already. Float serve over Emily Bugis. Sends it over to Hansen. She gets the ensuing attack as well, and the stuff blocked down from Camry Hutchings. Hutchings with the block, her first of the day. And at about 5'9", Camry is a great option as the setter to run that 5-1 formation because she is a good blocker up on the right side as well when they get to the front line. It's 4-all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Middle, tip over from Harris. Pushed up by Meeks, but a lift called on Olivia. Point goes Lyman's way, and it's 5-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Brooklyn Walker back to serve. Puts Emma Nelson up into the front line. Sierra Heaton to the bench for Lyman. Lyman serving on the left side of the net. And Walker sends it over to the back right court. Bugis with the first touch. Bump from Hutchings. Nowhere to go, though. She bumped it behind her back, and there was not a Mountain View player anywhere in the neighborhood. Point to Lyman, and they lead it 6-4. Bad serve receive on that play specifically, and that was an issue yesterday for Mountain View in their loss to Worland. High return from Bugis this time. Hutchings sets outside. Meeks winds up with a big cross quarter. Bradshaw with a high return, and it may have been out of bounds on a sharp cross. She knows it. She's getting pats on the back from Emma Nelson and Bryce Hansen and saying it's okay. The kill for Meeks, her first of the day. First non-Allie Rinker kill for Mountain View. 6-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Good serve from Allie Rinker just to the 10-foot line and pushed up from Mandy Air. Bryce Hansen from the far left side puts a cross quarter up. Rinker gets it up. Wind up on her first attack. Haley Stevens off the hands of Emma Nelson for a kill. Haley into the game and the front line. 6-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Rinker serves over. Bradshaw shakes the return left side to Hansen. Flip from the middle. A little slap by Madison Harris. Back to Mountain View. Haley Stevens at the 10-foot line, shoots it down the line. Mandy Air with the first touch, and then Hansen pushes it over onto the back right court. Hutchings sets up, back to Stevens, over the two blockers, in between Bradshaw and Air at the middle of the court. 7-6 at the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Second kill for Haley Stevens, and Mountain View takes the lead. Brooklyn Walker tries to roll it under the net, hits the back heel of Emma Nelson, then she picks it up, rolls it back to Rinker. Meeks, Hutchings, and Stevens in the front line defending for Mountain View against Hansen. Two blockers on Bryce, and she sends it cross court in front of Rinker for a kill. Back to Lyman, and it's tied up. Third kill for Bryce. It's been outside heavy so far. In fact, all kills have come from the outside position. Olivia Meeks, a middle, attacked with the left hand from the outside position when she got her kill for Mountain View. 7-all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First opportunity attack from Stevens is out of bounds. Bradshaw missed on the attempt to bump it up, and that was a benefit to her. Point back to Lyman. 8-7, set number one here. And this contest means the season ender for one of these two teams. The winner will play at 1 p.m. in the third place match against most likely Lander. It's either Lander or Powell in that contest. Lander's been red hot, nearly knocked off Pinedale yesterday. On the play, it's the left side for Mountain View. Stevens punches it over. Picked up, Mandy Air gets a swing over. Two blockers and a lift called against Ashley Timms, trying to save the little punch over from Air. Gives Lyman a 2-point advantage. First kill for Mandy Air. 9-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bryce Hansen into the back line, serving for a second time. Rinker punches it up to Hutchings. She flips it over. A lift called as a result of the Sage Bradshaw return on the dump set over by Hutchings. 9-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Casey Bugis gets her first serve. Sets up on the right side of the free throw paint area. Bumped up from Air. She pushes it at the 10-foot line after a bump set from Walker. Hutchings to the outside. Stevens is blocked. Hutchings saves it, though, on a sharp block back down. Dellinger punches it just over the net. Air with the first touch, and to the middle. It's Harris winding up out of bounds too far. Looked like for a second the block was going to try to put that one back on the other side, but instead they let it go, as did Casey Bugis, and it went about a foot or two out of bounds. It was right straight away behind the back line. 9-all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Walker to the right side, and the set's off. Makes for an easy block as Harris gets stuffed down by Haley Stevens. Her first block gives Mountain View the 1-point advantage. 10-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over from Bugis. 3 bumps and over. It just cleared the net and then died. A dig out required. Attack from Stevens, blocked by Emma Nelson. Her first point of the day makes it 10-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First block for Emma Nelson. The score sitting at 10-10. Serve over to the Mountain View side. Hutchings just clears the net on an over the back bump. High bump set from Walker to air. Ends up being a pretty good attack. Saved in the back line from Stevens. A flip over by Dellinger. High bump from Walker out of system. And Nelson sets to air. She just has to bump it over. First touch, Dellinger. From the right to the left, it's Hutchings to Stevens. To the middle of the court. Air takes control of it. Backline attack, Hansen. Diving save from Bugis. It's Stevens on the outside for Mountain View. Crossover. The foot was up. Madison Harris got the shot up with the foot, but it went under the net. So it's 11-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board in favor of Mountain View. Point back to Mountain View, and they lead at 1 point. They're 2-0 on the season against their Cross Valley rival. Middle attack on the 2 set from Air. It's a net touch on Lyman. Air got caught in the net, and an air by Mandy. 12-10. Serve goes to the setter, sophomore Camry Hutchings for Mountain View. High return from Air. Walker to Dickerson from the outside position. Deflected off the 2 blockers. Hutchings sets up to the backside. Timms for Mountain View. Hard cross-court attack. The freshman for Mountain View, Ashley Timms with a kill. I saw this last week against Lyman. Ashley Timms is getting some good swings from the right side, and she's been an outside hitter at the JV level all year long. That's going to be her position eventually, getting the start this year at the right side, but she's really getting her varsity swings coming along at the right time. Middle attack for Dickerson and Lyman. It's a high return from Bugis. Back set, or bump up, and 3 bumps not over the net. Hutchings tried to dig it out of the net on the high return from Bugis. We'll call that a 1 pass. 13-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Sierra Heaton to serve for Lyman on the left side of the net. And Lyman down by 2 points, but now just 1. An ace for Sierra off Dellinger. She's playing in the back left court. Makes it a 1-point differential. Sierra serves again, this time to the middle. Rinker takes control of it. Set right side, flip over from Haley Stevens on the right side of the net. Set up Hutchings. Point to Mountain View. They lead at 14-12. Well, Stevens with her 3 rotations in the front line as she moves back to serve. 4 kills and 1 block. And those 3 spins around the dial. Dickerson tries to save a bad setup from Walker. Races all the way to the bench side nearest to us and punches it with her right hand. It stays into the net. Point back to Mountain View. 15-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Ace serve from Haley Stevens. Grazed off the hands of Bryce Hansen. I hear whistles. That means timeout number 1 taken. The season on the line here for Mountain View and Lyman, and Mountain View leads early in set number 1, 16-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First bank presentation of Bridger Valley Volleyball when we return.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
19-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as we welcome you back to Lander High School as an ace by Brooklyn Walker preempts the timeout taken by Diana Timms. Lyman crawling back and Walker continuing to serve here in set number one. The last time these two teams played, it was a 31-29 set one. Walker with the serve over. She'll punch it over, back right side. Bugis with the first touch, that being Emily. Outside, it's Meeks. Cross-court shot. High return by Bradshaw. Close to the net. Touchdown by Meeks. And a lift called on Lyman. Bryce Hansen appealing to the up official, saying it was over the net by Meeks. 20-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Point back to Mountain View. Moves the rotation, puts Allie Rinker into the back line. She serves it over. On to Lyman's side, it's Hansen off the hands of the block. Rinker, no, it's Stevens rather. She had 6 points and make it 7. A cross-court kill and a sharp cross through a couple of Lyman defenders. Makes it 21-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 5 kills, an ace, and a block for Haley Stevens. 21-17, Mountain View serving over to the left side of Lyman. Outside attack, it's Hansen. Cross-quarter, returned over the net by Rinker. Tee off for Harris, and it's pushed back up by Meeks. Back to Lyman's side. The third hit is Harris again. Push to the back corner. Bugis calls off everyone. Hutchings to Stevens. She's been hot in the first set, and make it another kill. 22-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Timeout number 2 taken by Lyman. We'll take it with them. 5-point advantage for Mountain View over their cross-county Cross Valley rival Lyman on the Bridger Valley Volleyball, presented by First Bank.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
22-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, as we have as quiet of a gym as you'll ever have for a Mountain View and Lyman contest. Well, fans had to travel, what's it from Lyman and Mountain View, about 3.5 hours, close to 3 hours to Lander. It's 10 a.m. It's Saturday. Doesn't feel like it, but the season is on the line right now, and team's starting to try to ramp it up. Mountain View leading with the serve, 22-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Middle attack from Harris through the single coverage of Meeks and in front of Allie Rinker for the point. 22-18, first kill of the day for Madison Harris. Puts a point back on the board for Lyman. Serve from Hansen. 22-18, Mountain View attack at the 10-foot line. Stevens sends it back. Hansen with the first touch. Bump over from Emma Nelson. Back to Mountain View. A flip over from Hutchings on the second point of attack. Outside to air from Walker. Tipped on the block. Sent back over. Harris tees off. Off of one Bugis. Does the second touch to another Bugis. Emily DeCasey to Rinker in the back line. Still playing. Back to Lyman's side. It's air with the cross quarter. Rinker gets a first touch. It heads to the Gatorade cooler and over to the bench, and point to Lyman, 22-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bryce Hansen serving. 22-19 to the middle. It's Rinker with the first touch up, and the attack is Stevens. She's blocked, but it's inbounds. Ruled by the Mountain View line official. A block goes for Emma Nelson. Another point for Lyman as they're crawling back, 22-20. Hansen continues to serve. It's to Emily Bugis, then a bump up from Hutchings. Just 3 and not quite over on the third. And another point to Lyman makes it a 1-point contest. A timeout taken by Mountain View, their second. 1-point game when we come back. 22 for Mountain View, 21 for Lyman on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m. We invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
Lyman trailed Mountain View a week and a day ago in the first set and then crawled back at a similar juncture. It was actually even a little more. I think it was 23-19 when they made their climb back. And we saw 7 set points between the two teams. Finally, Mountain View winning at 31-29. Here in set number 1 on a regional consolation semifinal elimination Saturday, Bryce Hansen serves to Mountain View with Lyman trailing by 1. It's on to the Buffs side and Stevens. Cross quarter returned up by the freshman Bradshaw. And a flip down by Hutchings, again saved by Bradshaw. Point back, or not still in play rather, Mountain View then to Lyman. Back on Lyman's side is Air, she's blocked and again Bradshaw is there. Serve into the net and a miss by Brooklyn Walker put it down for the Mountain View point as it's 23-21 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Sage Bradshaw came in 2/3 of the way through the season and took over the libero position, and she's taking control of it right there. Her pass rating on the year, 2.08 as a freshman libero, and 23-21 the score. Mountain View lets another point go their way as an attack out of bounds from Mandier puts us at set point number 1. 24-21 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Casey Bugis serving for the win. Punches it over, back Lyman side. High return from Bradshaw. Walker sets to the right. It's Harris winding up, blocked by Stevens. Still playing, it's saved. 3 bumps and over from Lyman back to Mountain View. Dellinger returns it close to the net. Hutchings sets up back to Stevens. 2 blockers. It's out of bounds. Was it touched, however? And wait for the call. No touch is the ruling. And we play on set point number 2. Mountain View 24, Lyman 22. Serve goes to Lyman. It's Madison Harris. She sends it over and over end. Hutchings on the setup to Stevens, tips it over the block, and it's down for the point. Mountain View wins it. 25-22 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. We'll take it on to set number 2 next on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com. Mountain View wins 25-22 in set number 1 in an elimination Saturday consolation semifinal matchup. Regional Volleyball when we return, presented by First Bank. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio is back for another year with a bit of a twist. Join me, Jake Hibbard, as I transition from covering Evanston and becoming the voice of the Mountain View Buffs and Lyman Eagles. I'll be live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. with news, analysis, and guests as we focus on the Bridger Valley and beyond. We'll cover the happenings around the area and across the state landscape. We would also like to welcome onto the show as a regular this year, Dennis Lynch of Auto Farm Chevrolet. Join us every Wednesday on KNYN 99.1 FM in the Evanston listening area for the Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. If you can't catch it then, don't worry. We'll post all the episodes up to MyLocalRadio.com, or you can also find it by searching and subscribing to the Wyoming Prep Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio, presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet, every Wednesday, August through March on KNYN 99.1 FM in Evanston, or online anytime at MyLocalRadio.com, or of course at the Wyoming Prep Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. Come join in on the fun.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Welcome back to set number 2 here in Lander. It's the regional tournament in the 3A West, and Mountain View and Lyman playing each other for the right to go on to state. Talked to both coaches pregame, and kind of sentiment is this isn't quite right. If it's third or fourth, first or second, that's one thing, or even if it's a first round matchup. But to have one of these teams playing on and the other one done by their direct result just seems a little bit strange. And I can't remember the last time Mountain View and Lyman both weren't in state at the volleyball level in 3A. I guess a couple years ago it would have happened because Lyman was 2A, but they certainly made state back then. And, it's just a little bit different to see that, this is the last contest that we'll be calling for one of these teams as they play each other. 0-0 on the board. Set number 2, Mountain View wins set number 1. And Lyman gets the opening serve. It's Mandy Air on the right side of the net to the outside. It's Allie Rinker. Tips it off the block. Air in the backside. Back to Lyman again on the right side of the net. It's Hansen about 14 foot out attacking. Hutchings at the middle. She goes to the right side. It's Timms. Ashley Timms with the right side attack. She had 1 kill in set number 1. Gets 1 here in the second. And the first point goes Mountain View's way. Unfortunately, my scoreboard is acting up a bit, so some of that time those scores are just a bit delayed. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, and Bryce Hansen bumps it up over the net, and it's back to Lyman's side. Back to Hansen on the attack. 2 blockers on her. Tips it off the hands of Timms. Picked up by Hutchings. High bump from Condis. Oh, no, it hit the basketball hoop, put up into the air as Rinker was set to attack, and it goes falling back down on the court on the changed trajectory. 1-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve goes to Kendall Dickerson. Camry Hutchings sets to the right side. It's Ashley Timms with the kill. 2 kills for Ashley early on. And they've got it working here for Mountain View on the outside of the right side of the net. Ashley Timms with 2 kills and 2 points for Mountain View. 2-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Casey Bugus with the serve. No, it's Emily Bugus, rather, with the serve for Mountain View. Sends it over to the right side of the net. Walker to Hansen, and Bryce is just out of bounds. Wow, that one looked like it was on the line. 2-2. No, 3-1. It was just in my head that attack was in. Bugus serves again, that being Emily. To the right side, Bradshaw returns it over the net. Touchdown by Rinker or Meeks. It's Allie Rinker with the touch. 4-1 Mountain View. Mark that as a kill for Rinker. 4-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Float serve over from Bugus. Back to Lyman. Bump set by Walker. And to Hansen. She tips it over the single coverage block of Olivia Meeks. And it's down for a point. Hansen came into the regional tournament 492 kills on the season. And she's certainly well over 500 now. Hitting percentage of about .280. Walker serves over for Lyman onto the Mountain View side. Middle attack, Rinker through 2 blockers. A great save by Bradshaw. The one-handed punch stays in play. Outside attack from Hansen, pushed up by Bugus. That being Casey. Hutchings to the back line. Condis shoots it into the net. Point to Lyman. 4-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Not a lot of earned points already. Make it 4-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Not a lot of earned points for Lyman or Mountain View so far. Timms with 2 for Mountain View and 1 for Hansen. Push over from Bugus back to Lyman. Bump set high on the net. Hansen gets caught over the line. It goes uncalled, but then she gets called for in the net by the down official. And 5-3 Mountain View. Mountain View on top, 1-0. Serve from Rinker. First touch, Bradshaw makes for a long run by Walker, and a sharp cross by Hansen works for the point. 5-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Brooklyn Walker had to run all the way out of position, setting up on the shading to the right of the court to the far left side. Bumped it up for Hansen to approach just right behind her, and Bryce got a sharp cross to go for the point. Hutchings high bump set for Mountain View, and a flip by Meeks calling off Rinker, and that goes into the net. Point back to Lyman. 5-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 5-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. High serve from Hansen. Rinker to Hutchings. Middle attack, Olivia Meeks. Gets it down, but no, it's put back up by Hansen. Attack from Mandy Air. Casey Bugis gets the touch up and then bumped over from Rinker. Out of bounds, point to Lyman. 6-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Hansen serves again, now with the lead for Lyman. Line drive over. Casey Bugis with the touch in the back left court. Outside attack, and it's Stevens. Flipping it over the net and a touchback down from Stevens. Hansen saves it once, then twice. Bump over from Mandy Air. Casey Bugis to Hutchings on the setup. Middle is Meeks with the left hand. She's blocked by Mandy Air. The point to Lyman. They lead it by 2. 7-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Air with 2 kills and 1 block in the contest. 12 points in, a 2-point advantage for Lyman. 7-5 and a float over from Hansen. Onto the Mountain View side, it's Rinker with the return up and then the attack outside from Stevens. Set from Walker to Air with the left hand down the line. It's inbounds and point to Lyman. Benedict's Market and True Value board says 8 for Lyman, 5 for Mountain View. Hansen serving still. 3-point lead. Line drive, it's Rinker with the high return up to Hutchings. Back set, Meeks opening up with the left-handed punch attack. And it's Hansen with the return up. Air from the left side. She's also a lefty, goes cross court. Outside to Stevens for Mountain View. Bounces off 2 blockers. I don't know if it hit anyone, actually. We'll see if there's a touch. There's no touch. It went straight off the net. 9-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman leads it. A timeout taken. And we'll take one as well. Back in 30 seconds on the Benedict's Market and True Value board.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
9-5 lead for Lyman as we welcome you back over Mountain View Consolation Semifinal Elimination Saturday. Serve over from Bryce Hansen as she continues to roll. It's back to Lyman's side. Mandy Air sends it over onto the back right court. Emily Bugis with the touch up. Stevens with the outside attack, and Walker, a diving save made to keep it in play. Bump over from Air onto the Mountain View side. Dump set by Hutchings is blocked by Air. Picked up Olivia Meeks, and then Bugis tips it over. It's 9-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Air touches it over just over the block of Meeks, and nobody's in the back middle to make a return. 10-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A kill at the middle for Mandy Air. Serve over again for Hansen. Stevens sends it over on a bump up. It's been a lot of out of system plays for Mountain View. Air into the net though, ends the run. And I wish this scoreboard would work. I'm hitting it once and it's marking 3 points. 10-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bugis on the serve. Air with the return up. Brooklyn Walker to the left side. It's Air over 2 blockers. Dellinger pushes it up. Been a while since we've seen Kylie into the contest. I think it goes back to the first set. And again, Stevens into the net. And it's 11-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Madison Harris serves again for Lyman. 5-point lead. Middle return from Rinker. Camry Hutchings to the outside at Stevens. Through 2 blockers, down for a point. And 7 points for Mountain View. First kill of the set for Haley Stevens. Ashley Timms has 2. Allie Rinker with 1. Haley with 1 now. 11-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Camry Hutchings sends it over on the serve. Walker to the middle, wants Air, tips it over, single coverage. Diving play and a punch up from Stevens. Keeps it in play from Mountain View to Lyman side. It's Kendall Dickerson at the middle, off 1 blocker. Casey Bucas with the touch up. Hutchings to Stevens and a bump over from the outside position. Hanson with the first touch, then Walker high, outside to Air, off 2 blockers. Deflects off the hands of Kylie Dellinger for the point. Hanson with the attack. Makes it 12-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. I don't know, was that Air? Camry Hutchings to the right side. It's Stevens. Return up. It's Heaton on the second touch. Backline attack from Hanson. Hutchings sets to the middle. Dellinger off 1 blocker. It's Sage Bradshaw. Then to Walker on the setup. Air, 1 touch and a punch up by Dellinger. Stevens down the line. Walker to the middle. Dickerson winds up blocked by Stevens. Point back to Mountain View. 12-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve from Haley Stevens and a bump over from Dickerson. Dellinger at the middle. Hutchings jump sets to the outside. It's Rinker. Cross court, out of bounds. And a point to Lyman on the out of bounds shot. Stevens to the bench after the serve, replaced by Cortland Condis. 13-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mandy Air with the serve up for Lyman. To the outside, it's Allie Rinker. Touches it over. Bryce Hanson to Walker. To the middle, it's Dickerson down. But it's picked back up by Hutchings, and then a flip over by Dellinger is a lift called. So the point goes Lyman's way. And we've got a screwy scoreboard. We can thank the NFHS network for that because they don't allow scoreboards to be shown. They've got their thing going to the left of us. No scoreboard. And so I guess that's probably why. Return over the net and out of bounds. Dellinger gives up the ace to Mandy Air. And a timeout taken by Mountain View. They trail 15-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. As we will be back in 30 seconds on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
15-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Just a PSA for anyone who may have bought the NFHS network this month. You have to physically go in. You might even have to call to cancel because they do not. They just keep billing you recurring payments. Just a note, because I know a lot of people did go out and purchase that one. You will need to physically go in. You might even have to call them to get your name removed and information taken off of that if you wanted it just for the volleyball and football playoffs in the month of November. 15-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value scoreboard. Get that up here in just a second. Serve over from Mandy Air to the outside. It's Allie Rinker, line shot, and this time it's ruled inbounds. And Allie Rinker with the kill makes it 15-9. Sorry about that delay. We're just getting a little bit of trouble with getting that board to work here and there. It's being a little over-eager on the points it's giving out. Caitlin Timms lets serve over. Onto Lyman's side, it's Bryce Hansen. She gets it down on the block of Olivia Meeks. Kill for Bryce Hansen, her 4th of the set. And 16-9 the score. Serve back to Lyman. Walker and Charles C. Rose are going to flip out, and I think they may be doing a... let's see if she's done for a bit or if they're just taking her out for the set. But Charles C. Rose is a setter playing up in the front line on the right side, and be interesting to see Walker dealing with that sprained thumb on Thursday. Charles C. is setting out of the front line to Hansen. On a sharp cross, Hutchings sets up to Rinker for Mountain View. Cross quarter. No, it's a line shot through 2 blockers and up, but a lift called on the second touch by Kendall Dickerson gives the point back to Mountain View. 16-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Brooklyn Walker out for one play and then back in the serve receive. So I don't know, maybe she just needed to get the tape off. I don't know if she taped up prior, so I think she wanted to take the tape off because I don't see any now. Outside attack from Hansen and a kill. So she was out for one play. Looks like she removed the tape from her left thumb. And it's 17-10 as she gets the assist to Hansen. Sierra Heaton out, Brooklyn Walker back to serve. Junior setter for Lyman. Return to Rinker. And Hutchings a bump to Condis. It's over and in, just in the back middle. Air bump set from Bradshaw to Hansen. She tips it over single coverage. Rinker returns it over the net. Hansen slaps it down off of the hands of Camry Hutchings. It's been all Lyman in set number 2. Hansen, 6 kills in the set. She had 4 in the first entirely. 18-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. High return from Rinker, goes to Hutchings and a backline attack from Allie Rinker. Back to Lyman side, it's Walker. High to Hansen, over 2 blockers. Punch up from Emily Bugis, bump over from Rinker to Meeks. She bumps it back to Lyman side. Walker sets up this time to the middle. Harris winds up and through to the right of the block of Allie Rinker. Another point for Lyman, and it's a kill for Harris, her 2nd of the contest. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. 19-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Walker, hard serve, line drive, over and an ace for Brooklyn. 20-10. Second ace for Brooklyn. 4 for Lyman, just 1 for Mountain View. And into the net on a serve following that ace. Gives the point back to Mountain View, 20-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Cortland Condis out of the game. Allie Rinker back line. She's got the serve. Puts Haley Stevens back in at outside hitter for Mountain View. Walker to the outside. It's Hansen. High cross court shot. Bugis gets 1 touch and Emily gets a 2nd, but it falls to the ground. Everyone comes up and helps Emily back up. 21-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Attack by Hansen, I believe, on that, wasn't it? Yeah, that's kill number 7 for Bryce. Loft serve over from Hansen. She's out of the front line. Good news for Mountain View. Mandy Air gets an attack, though. Emily to Meeks, and then over by Rinker. 21-11 on Lyman's side. Back set. Emma Nelson beats the block, punches it over to the line shot in the back left court. Stevens through across quarter. High return by Bradshaw. Hits the basketball hoop. This time handled by Harris and then bumped over by Air. Back to Mountain View side. Jump set. Hutchings to the middle. Olivia Meeks inbounds in the back left court and a point for Mountain View. Been a while since we've been able to say Olivia Meeks' name for a kill. She had 2 in the first set. This is her first in the second. Dellinger into the game. Meeks out. Casey Bugis on the serve. 21-12. Inverse scores. Mountain View trailing Lyman, but up 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Air winds up. Blocked down by Dellinger. And Camry Hutchings. We'll give Camry credit for the block there. 21-13. First point earned by Kylie Dellinger today on an attack or block or otherwise. She does not serve, so no opportunity there. Casey Bugis serving. Down by 8. Touched up by Air to the back line. Hansen sets to Nelson at the middle of the court. Return from Rinker to the middle. It's Dellinger. She's blocked by Air on single coverage. This time outside. Two blockers converge on Haley Stevens. Line shot picked up by Hansen. Walker to the outside. Air tips it over two blockers. Stevens watches it into her hands, returns it up, back set to the libero. Casey Bugas with a kill. The libero attack gets a point for Mountain View. The element of surprise work there, as there was one blocker in, I think it was Emma Nelson there, trying to get something going, and she really couldn't get much. It was deflected off the hands of Bryce Hansen. Casey Bugas with the kill, now following it up with another serve. Walker to the outside, it's Nelson. Tipped off the hands of Hutchings. She gets the set up, though, to the outside. Two blockers on Stevens, who goes line. Into the net on the return up. Walker tries to dig it out, and then a punch under the net by Harris hits Kylie Dellinger on the left thigh. 21-15 and a run for Mountain View on the way. They trailed it at, 21-15. They trailed it 20-10. And getting 5 of the last 6 points. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member NCUA.
21-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And 5 of 6 points for Mountain View going their way, forcing the timeout by Lyman. And sitting at Mountain View was ahead 4-1 to start the set. Casey Bugas with the serve. 21-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Team down 6, serving Lyman. Walker to the middle, still trying to get the kill at the middle position from Mandy Air. No good. It's picked up by Emily Bugas. Backline attack from Rinker. High return from Hansen, and then to Mandy Air. Two blockers on her. Return. It's Bugas. Bump set Hutchings, and then to the middle. Dellinger flips it over the block. Back to Lyman side. Walker to the middle. This time Harris punched up by Dellinger, and it goes to Camry Hutchings, who was down on the ground. She tried to bump it up. Goes into the Mountain View bench, and a point to Lyman. 22-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Send over from Madison Harris, an ace. Harris ecstatic after that ace serve, and her first ace of the day. 23-15. Harris on the serve. Goes back left side. It's Emily Bugas with the first return and a bump up. 4 hits. We're at set point. Haley Stevens and Allie Rinker were both looking for that ball, and Stevens kind of pulled off late as she hit it. Stayed on the Mountain View side. Set point number 1, Lyman. Harris on the high serve over to the left side. Bugas with the touch up. Dellinger on the right side. Shoots it down the line. Harris returns it. Walker close on the net. She keeps it all legal. Tucked back down as a block from Dellinger, but it's picked back up. And Casey Bugas returns it just over and inbounds. We're still playing. It was a sure kill for Lyman. They were already celebrating. And then Mountain View gets the point on a missed play on the second bump. It was Madison Harris shaking it behind. A play of the game and a Dr. McKay Franca precision play of the game for Casey Bugas. She was down on the ground, just punched it over, and she was back almost at the back side baseline of the volleyball court and sent it back over, just over the net. To the middle, Mandy Air, and still on set point number 2 for Lyman, 24-16, and that should do it. 4 hits. No, somehow that's all legal. Back to Lyman's side, it's Air down the line, and the kill for Mandy Air. Past Hutchings, diving in for it. 25-16, the final in set number 2. As we get evened up, 25-16. In set 2, first set went down to 25-22 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
We hope you're enjoying this mylocalradio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Yeager's Auto Body. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been at the top of the game in auto repair. West Star Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, West Star is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
Set number 3 coming up on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as we are moving along and trying to get a little set count for you on this side. Welcome back. Set number 3, 25-16 was the final in set number 2, 25-22 the score in set number 1. Trying to get a little set counter ticker for you, so you can keep track. It is 1-1 for Mountain View and Lyman. Apparently you can't see one side of the court on the NFHS network. Well, I guess you can't see any side of the court on ours because they don't allow us to get video because they've got it all covered. First attack is Bryce Hansen, and it's a block by Olivia Meeks to start things off. What a start to the third set for Mountain View. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emily Bugis serves it over, floats it. Hansen, Walker to the right side. Kendall Dickerson touches it up, and Meeks shanks it behind. It's Casey Bugis. 1-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman and Mountain View playing an elimination. Kendall Dickerson sends it over. Casey Bugis with the first touch. Camry Hutchings to the right side. It's Rinker. She's blocked, and it's inbounds. Bryce Hansen with the stuff down. Bryce not a big blocker on the season. She doesn't get a whole lot of opportunities on the year, just 17. Led by Kendall Dickerson was Lyman with 46 blocks. She's back to serve right now. 2-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And an ace for Dickerson makes it 3-1. First ace of the day for Kendall. In all, I think that's 6 aces for Lyman. Dickerson sends it over. Hutchings on the setup to the outside. Olivia Meeks, got way under the ball. And it goes a mile out of bounds. 4-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Set count at 1-1. Dickerson sends it over. High return, there's Hutchings. To the right side, it's Allie Rinker. And she touches it over. A pancake by Dickerson. That went to the right of the pancake. So point to Mountain View. 4-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Who was that on the attack? Rinker, right? Yeah, she's back to serve now. That scoreboard messes with my brain. It breaks it. 4-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. To the right side, it's Harris. She's blocked by Meeks, and a lift called in the ensuing play. Give the block to Olivia Meeks, and the point to Mountain View. It's 4-3. 4 kills, 1 block for Olivia, the sophomore, middle for Mountain View. And the serve again for Allie Rinker. Outside attack, Bryce Hansen is blocked big. She gets a setup after Sage Bradshaw saved the play. Rinker on the first touch on the attack after Hansen, and an outside attack by Stevens is in the middle. The donut hole push by Haley Stevens is another kill on the board and another point for Mountain View to tie it up. 4-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Allie Rinker serves out of bounds. 5-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Brooklyn Walker serving. Sierra Heaton out of the game. Walker was out for a play last set to get the wrap off of her sprained thumb. I think it was constricting her movement on being able to set. Set to the middle. It's Harris on the setup from Brooklyn Walker into the donut hole in front of Rinker, and another point for Lyman. 6-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Attack, or the serve over, flipped by Hutchings. Mandy Air to Walker. Outside it's Hansen. Over 2 blockers, back right court, a kill for Bryce. And the point run continues for Lyman. They lead it 7-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. They seized control early in the second set. They've held on ever since. Walker, push up by Rinker. Camry Hutchings to the outside. Haley Stevens is off the block of Harris. And the kill for Haley. 8. Make it 9 kills for Haley Stevens and a block in the game in set 3. That's in the contest as a whole, as we're 12 points into set number 3. 7-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bugis sets up with the powerful jump serve. No, she goes for a float instead. Took a lot off of it. Just over and returned by Air. 3 bumps and over back to Mountain View's side. Emily Bugis to Hutchings outside. Stevens has to back up on the set. It was a little bit off of where she wanted it. Walker to Hansen. That one's right where Bryce wants it, but it's blocked by Dellinger. And a long run to go for Sage Bradshaw. She goes skidding down on the hardwood, but it's no good. 7-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Back to a 1-point contest. Casey Bugis serving. Last play was a floating serve. Bradshaw shanks it into the bench. It's saved by Brooklyn Walker. Bump over from Hansen. High set from Dellinger to Hutchings and then Stevens. She's blocked. Stuffed down by Emma Nelson. 8-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emma Nelson with the point. I haven't mentioned this in a while. The winner of this contest is into state and will play at 1 p.m. in the third place contest. The loser has just played their last match of the season. Outside attack, Haley Stevens goes cross court. Bradshaw with the first touch up. Walker to the outside. It's Air. Punches it over 2 blockers. Then Emily Bugis gives it to Hutchings, and Stevens pushes it over to the cross court over 2 blockers as well. Back to Air. 2 set on her. She's stuffed. She gets a first touch up on it. Bryce Hansen back to Air. She has to toe the line. Goes to a back corner push. Emily Bugis to Hutchings, then to the middle. Dellinger winds up. She's blocked by Air. Keeps it in play. Backline attack. It's Rinker calling off Bugis. Sage Bradshaw with the first touch. Then to the middle. It's Harris. She's blocked. A lot of blocking in this play, but a lot of back ups. Another block here and a bump up by Emma Nelson. On the second touch goes over and out of bounds. Point to Mountain View. 8-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Camry Hutchings serving. And it's over to Bradshaw. On the Lyman side, bump set from Walker to Nelson. She winds up at the middle position, gets it over, deflected off the block. Rinker on the first touch. Corner push, and Haley Stevens gets it down just in between the sideline and the little cross corner of the 10-foot line on that far corner. 8-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kill for Haley Stevens. She's getting close to double digits in the contest. And we had, I think Bryce Hansen's already there. She had 10 or 11 kills in the game so far. Hutchings sends it over and out of bounds. Point back Lyman's way. 9-8 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Got 12 kills for Bryce Hansen and a block in the contest. Madison Harris serves over for Lyman onto Mountain View side. Touch up from Rinker to the right side. It's Stevens. And down for the point. Haley Stevens with the kill. 9 all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Back and forth contest. 4 kills for Stevens, in control in this third set alone. Stevens out of the front line, puts Rinker up front. She goes back to serve. Back set from Walker to air push over. Haley Stevens to Hutchings, and she back sets it to Timms. She had 2 kills in the first set, gets blocked here. Timms keeps it alive, and Bugus pushes it just over the net. Walker to Nelson, puts him out of system. A set backs up on Mandy Air. Bugus with the first touch. Hutchings from the back line to the outside, and Rinker is blocked. Give the point to Emma Nelson on the stuff down. 10-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. For Emma Nelson, she's had quite the blocking day. I've got her in on 4 blocks in the contest. No kills, but those work just as well. She's out of the game. Sierra Heaton is back in her place to serve. 10-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bugus backs all the way up on it, returns it up. Rinker at the 10-foot line, sends it down to the donut hole. Bryce Hansen makes the save to the outside. It's Air off the block of Ashley Timms, and a kill for Mandy Air, her first of the set. 11-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View trailing. Lyman with the serve. Sierra Heaton taking her time, whistle blown. And now she sends it over. About 13 feet back of the net. Rinker with the first touch. Hutchings on the dump set. Sage Bradshaw saw it coming. Gets the return up. Mandy Air on a line shot out of bounds. Point to Mountain View. Subs in. Brooklyn Walker replaces Chelsea Rose. Did she get a wrap back on it now? She was out for a play. No, I'm not sure. It looks like, yeah, she got it retaped now on the left thumb. Caitlin Timms serving. I don't remember her serving last set. To the middle, it's Kendall Dickerson into the net, and 4 hits knocks us back up at, well, no, it's the score was wrong on the board for a second. 11 all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 1 set each side. Tim serves again to the middle. It's Hansen. Walker at the middle of the court has options. Opts to go outside. Corner! And Mandy Air finds the back right side. Cortland Condis was way in front of where Air sent it. Second kill of the set for Mandy gives Lyman a 1-point advantage. 12-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman leading Mountain View. Air serves it to Rinker, then up it's Hutchings at the 10-foot line at the middle of the court. She goes outside and Rinker misses. She got way on top of the ball. That wasn't the problem. It was just moving it to the left, and it went out of bounds on the sideline. 13-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This time it was Lyman jumping out to a 4-1 lead. It seems like all 3 sets we've had a 4-1 lead to start. It is. First Lyman, then Mountain View, and now Lyman again in the third set. High set to the middle. Rinker winds up. Blocked partially. No, Kendall Dickerson's able to dig it out of the net, and Air bumps it over from the backcourt. Hutchings back sets to Timms. She takes a line approach from it. Sage Bradshaw with the first touch. Chelsea Rose is in setting again, and it's a return from Mountain View outside. Rinker has to run up on the set. It was a long run for Bradshaw to get the sharp cross, and Sierra Heaton just gets it over. Rinker goes down to 2 knees to get the setup. Meeks is into the net on the attack. 4 hits, and a point back to Lyman. Brooklyn Walker on the bench. She's been out for a point or 2. And, yeah, she's sitting right next to the coach. I think that's her. Yeah, she's out for the moment. The thumb's bothering her again. 14-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A kill for Ashley Timms. She was not expecting that one. It was 9 feet out and across quarter, but it worked. Timms is out after the play, and Emily Bugus will serve. 14-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Taking her time, Bugus takes the serve. And it's an ace for Emily. She'll get it again, 1-point differential. 14-13 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Just the second ace for Mountain View today. Other one came from Haley Stevens. Set up, Walker back into the game. Bryce Hansen, sharp cross, inbounds from the left side to the far right corner. 15-13 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve back to Lyman. Ashley Timms ran and retrieved the ball from under the bleachers. Kendall Dickerson on the serve with a 2-point advantage for Lyman. Here in set number 3, both teams have taken one so far. Season on the line here. Right side attack, Rinker touches it down the line on the right side attack. For Rinker, that's kill number 10. She moves back to serve. Haley Stevens back in. She's led the way for Mountain View attacking. 4 kills in this set alone. 15-14, the serve is over. Walker sets up Hanson, big shot. Casey Bugis gets a great return just to keep it in play. Hutchings bumps, then to Emily, and 3 bumps and over for Mountain View. Back to Lyman, high bump set from Walker, and Hanson touches it up to the right corner. Step through to the 10-foot line, back line attack from Rinker. Mandy Air makes a diving save, and it's a bad set. Leads to Harris just bumping it over. Hutchings to the outside, Stevens. Cross court, no one there. Point for Mountain View. 5 kills in this set for Haley Stevens. Puts her up to 12 in the game. 15-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Allie Rinker over. Mandy Air with the touch up to Walker, and then outside is Hanson, cross quarter. Picked up by Casey Bugis, a pancake, not good. Point to Lyman. Bad return there, I guess, or just out of system one way or another. 16-15. What was that? Oh, hit the basketball net. Now that'll mess with things. You've got the basketball nets that are in play, basically inbounds on both sides. And Brooklyn Walker serves to the right side, and Olivia Meeks hits it into the net. 17-15. An air for Mountain View keeps the serve in play for Lyman. Walker with it. She's been jumping in and out of this set with that sprained left thumb. Back to the right side, it's Meeks touching it over 2 blockers. Hanson with the first touch, then air back to Hanson. She pushes it over to Stevens on a sharp cross. In the middle, they'll try to get Meeks again set up in the attack. Handled by Lyman, and it's back to Hanson. She's blocked. Returned over the net onto the Mountain View side. Bugis to Hutchings, right to left. Stevens beats the block, touches it over the net, does on the dive. It was Brooklyn Walker. Push back, air is there, and Walker sets up to Hanson. 17-15, Casey Bugis with the return. Long rally here. Mountain View attack is Stevens on a push, and it's over, and it's good. Madison Harris couldn't handle the block. 17-16 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kill number 6 of the set for Haley Stevens. 13 in the game. And Casey Bugis serving. Sophomore libero. Rolls the ball in her left fingers and then punches it up, and a hard serve off of Mandy Air for the ace. Ties it up. 17-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Working on one ace, she floats it but misses. It hits the net on Mountain View's side and rolls back. 18-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Back in play, Hutchings to Dellinger. She can't get it over the net. 4 hits. And effectively an ace there for Bryce Hanson. 19-17 Lyman in set number 3, trying to take the 2-1 advantage in an elimination. Hanson serves. Over to the back right side. It's Casey Bugis. Hutchings to the outside for Mountain View. Stevens picked up by Hanson in the back middle of the court. Air on the attack is blocked, and Sage Bradshaw saves it. Touch over from Harris in front of Bugis, diving. 20-17. Late control again being seized by Lyman. A timeout by Mountain View. Set number 3. 1 set apiece for both Mountain View and Lyman, and it's 20-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman over Mountain View. This is a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
No matter what you need to have printed, Weststar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Weststar Printing. Stop in today. Weststar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Set number 3, 20-17, Mountain View trailing, and calling the timeout here to Lyman. their Cross Valley rival. And today, one team will move on to play for third place and move on as a 3 or 4 seed at state next week in Casper. The other team's season is over. It's an elimination Saturday here in Lander Valley High School. Bryce Hansen with the serve for Lyman. Sets up and throws it just over the net. Dellinger on the first return. Hutchings to Stevens off the block. It's point. Mountain View on the kill for Stevens. Number 7 of the set for Haley. And no better time than right now for Haley to get another point in. 20-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Hutchings on the serve. Outside to Air. Cross quarter through Rinker, through the 2 blockers, and point back Lyman's way. 21-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Madison Harris serving. Puts Dickerson back into the front line for Lyman, along with Air and Emma Nelson. Front line for Mountain View, Hutchings, Stevens, and Ashley Timms. Dellinger is in the serve receive. She's back at the left court, gets the first return. Deep corner push from Stevens. Gets past Bryce Hansen. Point to Mountain View. 21-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Running out of space for Haley Stevens in set number 3 with 8 kills in the contest up to 15. 21-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Stevens to Air on the serve over. Air gets the ensuing attack and picked up by Tim. She runs into Hutchings, backs away from her, allows Rinker to get an attack up. Push up by Bradshaw. Long run for Bryce Hansen to get it back up, and 3 bumps and over. The third by Air. On to Mountain View side, right side attack. It's cross quarter from Timms. Timms sends it to Walker, puts him out of system. Corner push on the left side. Mandy Air gets the point past Casey Bugis. 22-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve to Sierra Heaton. Takes Emma Nelson out of the front line for Lyman. In there for her stead is Brooklyn Walker on the block, but first a timeout by Mountain View. 22-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman leads Mountain View in the third set on a First Bank presentation of Bridger Valley Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
Set number 3 here, 22-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board in Lander High School. Regional Day 2. We've already seen 2 teams punch their ticket to state in Pinedale and Warland. There's a game going on in the other gym at the main gymnasium, and let's see if I don't know if we could get an update on that. I don't think we have any way to get a live update, but Powell and Lander playing right now as well and trying to punch their ticket. The winners of these 2 contests will play each other at 1 p.m. for the third place match. That'll be followed by the championship at 3. Sierra Heaton back to serve. 22-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Heaton serves it over. Rinker with the return up. Camry Hutchings to the right side. Dellinger powers it through a block. Stays up though. Charles C. Rose in at center. Bumps it to the back line where Hansen gets it over. Bugis to Rinker. Over 2 blockers at the 10-foot line. Picked up by Mandy Air. Bump over from Dickerson. Hutchings to Condis. High bump set to Rinker. Shot down the line off the hands of Heaton, and a point for Mountain View. 22-20 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve to Caitlin Timms. Timms, the senior server, winds up and over. High bump set from Brooklyn, and it's slapped over with the left hand of Mandy Air to the outside. Rinker power shot, cross court in. And it was out of system for Lyman. They were slow to recover, 22-21, and a timeout now taken by Lyman. Up by 1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on a First Bank presentation of regional volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Mountain View climbing back after a timeout was forced by the Buffs. Was it 3 points ago at 22-19? Well, they get 2 straight, and so 2 points ago. They're already back out onto the court. Lyman taking his time. Coach Hansen giving out some final instructions to the players, taking a seat who will head back out onto the court. Lyman in the serve receive on the left side of the net. White jerseys, Mountain View in the purple on the right side of the net. Set number 3. It's tied at 1 apiece. 22-21 the score in the third. And Caitlin Tim serves it over back left court. Mandy Air with the return and the ensuing attack. Punches it over. 2 blockers. Push up from Hutchings. Bump set. Condis tied on the net. It's touchdown by Kendall Dickerson. Joust between Dickerson and Olivia Meeks, won by Kendall. And a point to Lyman puts him 1 closer to a 2-1 advantage. 23-21 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Air the server. Mandy to Cortland Condis on the serve receive. Dump over from Hutchings and a quick flip over by Hansen. Casey Bugas makes the save. Left-handed slap by Meeks onto the Lyman side. Outside attack, cross court is blocked but out of bounds. Hansen with the kill, have the block out of bounds, and a late appeal by Ashley Timms. I think she's wanted I don't know what she wanted, maybe a touch by Hansen after that. We're at set point number 1 for Lyman. 24-21, Air serves it over. Condis on the high return. Hutchings to the outside. Rinker touches it over. It's picked up by Hansen. A dump set from Walker. Save from Bugas. Set Hutchings and a bump over. Rinker onto the Lyman side and in good position to attack with a good attack to the outside. It's a cross quarter out of bounds past Bugas. Point Mountain View 24-22. Emily Bugas replaces Ashley Timms. 24-22, set point number 2 for Lyman. Bugas over the net on the serve. First touch by Bradshaw on the attack is down the line from Hansen. And bump over from Bugas, back to Lyman's side, still playing. Walker to the middle. Dickerson winds up, inbounds. No, it was called out. That was called out, it was in. But then a net touch by Mountain View negates it. That's probably fair because that ball was in. 25-22 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman takes a 2-0 victory, or 2-1 lead, as we have set number 4 upcoming. Here at Regional Volleyball Day 2. Teams will switch side of the nets. We'll be back in a couple to bring you set 4, possibly a decider. This is a season ender for one of these teams. Lyman 2 sets, Mountain View 1 on the First Bank presentation of Regional Volleyball in Lander on MyLocalRadio.com. Do you like following your Mountain View and Lyman athletics when you can't make it to the game? Well, we love bringing it to you. Hi, I'm Jake Hibbard, voice of the Mountain View Buffaloes and Lyman Eagles, and I've been traveling around the state of Wyoming and covering high school sports for the better part of a decade. Whether it's covering a big culminating event at the Casper Event Center, calling a tightly contested Mountain View Lyman game, the greatest rivalry in this state, or kicking back and enjoying the views at one of the state's many hidden gems like the ballpark in Cowley, Wyoming, there's a few things I always see. There's officials trying their hardest, coaches sweating it out on the sidelines, and there's always a ton of support for these athletes from the entire community. MyLocalRadio.com would like to take a moment to thank all of its sponsors for making today's video coverage possible. Without all of us working together, none of this could happen. If you would like to support our future video broadcasts of Lyman and Mountain View sports, there's a few ways you can let us know. The first is, you can call our home office in Evanston, Wyoming at 307-789-8116 and let them know that you would like to know more about how you can become a sponsor of Bridger Valley Sports. The other is, you can just come up to me before or after a game and ask for more information. We've got a lot of different tiers of sponsorship and we'll find the perfect one for you. We would love for you to join the MyLocalRadio.com and Bridger Valley Sports family and help us continue to bring these games for years to come. That number again to call for the Evanston office is 307-789-8116. Or just come up and see me at one of the games and let me help you help us. And remember, go Eagles and go Buffs.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
Set number 4 here in Lander has Lyman leading. Do you like 2 sets to none on the Benedict's Market and True Value board? Set number 4 puts Lyman on the right side of the net with the serve. It's Mandy Air with the opening serve. 3 in the serve receive back line for Mountain View, Kylie Dellinger, Allie Rinker, and Casey Bugis. In the front line, it's Ashley Timms, Camry Hutchings, Haley Stevens. Sent over, Dellinger on the first touch. It's Hutchings back set to Stevens on the right side. And is picked up, a little deflected, blocked, returned over the net on the second, though, by Hanson. Tied on the net, Hutchings to the middle. Dellinger winds up, and a kill for Kylie Dellinger gives the first point of the game of set number 4 to Mountain View. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A kill for Dellinger, her first of the day. We've seen Dellinger play more back line in the last 3 weeks of the season, probably more the last 2 weeks even. Sharp cross from Hanson, almost goes for a kill, and it'll go for a point rather. Just not a kill. Hanson got it off the side of her hand, and that had Mountain View on their back heels. 1-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kendall Dickerson serving. Sophomore middle. She was 3rd on the team in kills at 99 at the end of the regular season for Lyman. Behind, of course, the 2 300-plus and Bryce Hanson at almost 500. As Rinker hits it into the net, goes 2-1. Bryce Hanson and Mandy Air. Hanson at top at 492, Mandy Air behind her at 342. And then Dickerson and Harris after that at 99 and 59 respectively. 2-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This could be the last set for Mountain View. This is elimination contest in the consolation semis. Allie Rinker gets a hard shot, but Air keeps it in play, and a bump over from Hanson. Back to Mountain View side. Hutchings to the middle. Dellinger got the first kill. She's blocked on this one, and a point back Lyman's way. 3-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. At the center, was that Harris on the block? Or was that Hanson? One of them. 3-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bugis just gets it over the net on the back line push up. Outside attack, Hanson, back to Bugis. Hutchings sets up on the set to the back right side, over to the left, it's Rinker. A little tip over, Charles C. Rose returns it out of bounds, point to Mountain View. Rose is in, and now she comes out for Brooklyn Walker. They're playing her, it looks like, as they were last set, they're playing her on one rotation, basically. In for Walker. Caitlin Timms, the opening server of the set for Mountain View. To the outside, it's a cross-court shot from Hanson. Hard shot, Hutchings on the return up, and it's a setup to the outside Rinker. Then a dump set by Walker. Back to Mountain View side, Condis to the middle. Meeks, rather, touches it up. Meeks to the back, it's Rinker. Not a good set, but that's why she plays middle. She's not a setter. To the middle, it's Harris. Over back to Mountain View side. Back set from Hutchings to the right side. Ashley Timms gets a shot, but a net touch called on Lyman. And the number there was 22, Madison Harris. Point Mountain View. And it's 3-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Tim serves again. Lofted up by Sage Bradshaw. Blocked down as Brooklyn Walker tried to dump it over. Olivia Meeks said no way. 4-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Second block for Olivia. She has 4 kills as well. 4-3 and a 1-point lead for Mountain View. To the outside, Hansen. Cross-court shot, kill. Past Condis. 4-all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First kill of the set for Bryce. It's number 16 of the game, also has a block in the contest. Lyman certainly has their ace game working, out acing Mountain View 6-3. 2 of those aces for Mountain View came in the third set. They only had 1 through the first 2. Outside Rinker at the 10-foot line, goes a line shot back to Mandy Air. At the middle of the court, Brooklyn Walker sends it to Canson. Again, a sharp cross. This time maybe intended to go off the side of her hand. Rinker under the ball, out of bounds, and a touch is not ruled. Point to Lyman. 5-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Brooklyn Walker punches it over. High return from Condis. Hutchings sets it over the net, and Harris pushes it over. Bugis makes the save for Mountain View. Bump over behind the back from Rinker. Air to Walker, then to Harris on the attack at the middle position. Back to Mountain View. Rinker tries from the outside. Line and down. Hit the top of the net through the blockers and in front of Air. Allie Rinker with her 12th kill of the day. Ties it up at 5-all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Again, the set count, the little numbers to the side of those points. Lyman leading 2-1 over Mountain View. Emily Bugis serves it over, and an ace inbounds. Bradshaw watched it as she thought it was heading out of bounds. Fall just in. Second ace for Emily. Here in set number 4, a 1-point lead, Mountain View over Lyman. Emily serves up to Hansen. Then Hansen gets the ensuing attack. Cross-court kill for Bryce. We mentioned nobody for Mountain View came out of the regular season with 300 kills. Allie Rinker, the closest at about 290. Well, about 200 kills ahead of her was Bryce at 492. So Bryce out of the 2 teams by far seeing the heaviest load. Outside attack from Meeks is out of bounds, but a touch ruled. No, a net touch, not a touch of the ball. Just a net touch gives Mountain View a tie back up. Oh, they have the lead, rather. 7-6. Is that right? Is it 7-6? Should it be? Yeah, okay. 7-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over from Rinker. Walker sets to Air. Cross quarter. Casey Bugis dives and puts it back up to Hutchings. 3 bumps and over to Rinker. Back to Lyman side. Walker outside. Air is blocked by the tape, I thought, but apparently got a hold of Olivia Meeks' arm as it's tied back up on the kill for him. Mandy Air, her 11th. 7-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Set from Hutchings to the middle. Meeks pushes it over. 2 blockers at the middle position. Little flip over by Emma Nelson trying to catch him off guard on the second play. And an outside attack by Stevens. Gets the point back to Mountain View. They lead it 8-7. Haley Stevens, her 16th kill. She has 1 block as well, staying pace with the sophomore outside for Lyman, Bryce Hansen. Bugis, that being Casey Bugis, the sophomore libero at the serve to the left of the net for Mountain View. Shoots it into the net and gives the point back to Lyman. Two set to 1 lead for Lyman. The first matchup between these two went 5 sets. Lyman held a 14-10 lead in the 5th set, but lost at 16-14. The second was a 4-set win for Mountain View. Ace served by Sierra Heaton. Gives Lyman the lead. Second ace for Sierra. Senior DS. Played a couple of sets at right side at the Cokeville Invitational. Hutchings to Dellinger on a slide attack. High return from Hansen, then to Walker. Back to the left side. It's Air with the attack. Bugis is up on the return, then Emily on the bump set over to Allie, who bumps it over as well. 9-8, Lyman ball, and to the middle, it's Dickerson winding up, bounces it off the block. Bugis was able to take that one pretty easily as it was deflected and something taken off of it. Stevens is blocked. Another diving save made by Casey Bugis. Backline attack from Rinker. Sharp shot down, but Bryce Hansen is there. Walker to the left of the net, and it's air. Emily Bugis save up, and a backline attack from Casey Bugis. Pushed up by Heaton, still playing set from Dickerson, and a push on the corner from air goes into the hands of Emily Bugis. To the left side at Stevens. She's blocked. It's inbounds, I guess. Allie Rinker returned it as it was, and a push by Stevens. Tipped up by Dickerson, and a point to Mountain View after a long rally. Ties us back up at 9-all on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Need to take a breath after that. 9-9. Camry Hutchings serving, sophomore setter. Mountain View on the left of the net with the serve. Return from Hansen, then to Walker at the middle. They want air, and it's there for the kill in the back left, back right court of Mountain View. Point back to Mandy on her 12th kill. 10-9. You smell fried chicken? I smell fried chicken. Someone's making fried chicken in this gym. Maybe we'll see after this contest, whenever that may be. Outside attack, it's Ashley Timms with the cross quarter. Pick back up, it's Lyman on the attack. Hansen is blocked. And can't be dug out of the net. Ashley Timms on the stuff down. Puts us at 10-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serve over from Haley Stevens. Outside attack, Hansen, a hard one, but returned back up by Haley. Outside Rinker pushes it over, 2 blockers, and the kill gives Mountain View the lead. Haley Stevens with the serve, following the lead. Gained by Allie Rinker. Service to the back middle. Freshman libero Sage Bradshaw with the touch-up. Right side attack, Kendall Dixon cross quarter. Bugis with the good return up. Timms bumps it over behind her back from about 14 feet behind the net. Walker to Hansen. Through 2 blockers. Push up by Camry Hutchings. Bump set from Bugis to Rinker on the left side. She's blocked by Dickerson. And Kylie Dellinger pushes it over on the third. Walker tied on the net, toes the line, and a shot down is out of bounds by Bryce from the outside position. 2-point lead for Mountain View. Attacking air is pretty rare for Bryce Hansen in this contest. She's been pretty good, especially on those line shots. Been keeping most everything inbounds. An ace on the back line for Mountain View. Gives Haley Stevens her second ace of the day and forces a timeout for Lyman. They trail it by 3, 13-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And this is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on an elimination game here at the regional tournament on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Back underway here as Kylie Dellinger tips it over on the Lyman side. Outside attack, Bryce Hansen, cross-court shot, inbounds. Out of the break, Lyman with the point back. 13-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. We welcome you back to Lander Valley High School on a Saturday morning. Game started at 10 a.m. It's now 11:45. Here on MyLocalRadio.com, serve over from Kendall Dickerson, goes to Casey Bugis on the Mountain View side. Outside attack, Rinker inbounds. The back line of Dickerson and air let it go by, thinking it was out of bounds. It was clearly in. And the point to Mountain View gives them a 14-11 lead. Kylie Dellinger out, Casey Bugis out as well, Caitlin Timms in to serve. Allie Rinker now with 14 kills in the contest. And Mountain View trailing 2-1 to Lyman. Up 3 in the fourth set, needing to win to continue their season. Cross-court shot from Bryce Hansen. Bump set, Hutchings at the outside. It's Rinker again. Off 2 blockers, and it's deflected off of Harris. Point back to the Buffs. 15-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Well, we know that we'll be with you at state next week on Thursday at least, and then Saturday if whichever one of these teams makes it through. But we do know as well that only one of these teams will be advancing onto the state tournament in Casper. High punch serve up. Rinker just floats it over the net. Now Lyman's trying to dig it out. They do, and Hansen sends a sharp shot down. Caitlin Timms with the return up. Outside bump from Rinker to the back right corner. Air picks it up. Brooklyn Walker, a high set close to the net, puts the back line on for Bryce Hansen. She has to toe the line and put it up with her left hand as it's right on the net. She does to make it 15-12. 15-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Walker back serving. Return to the back right court. It's Casey Bucas. The right side attack is Ashley Timms. Cross-quarter shot. Air to Walker, then to Hansen. 2 blockers on her. Cross-court. Condis with the first return. Right to the hands of Hutchings. She sends it to the middle with options. It's Olivia Meeks. A little flip over. Doesn't do anything for the Mountain View offense, but an out-of-bounds shot by Bryce Hansen does. Point back to the Buffs. 16-12 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. The board here is a little slow to react. Now they put the point up just to make sure that it goes up. 16-12 is the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emily Bugas with the serve. It's into the net and point back to Lyman. 16-13 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Emma Nelson throws it back to Bryce Hansen. Hansen's been a great server throughout this season. Leads them in ace percentage. And a return over the net is touched down by Madison Harris. A 2-point differential. Madison Harris with the point. Her third, no fourth kill of the game. 16-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Serving, 13% of Bryce's serves were aces, including that one right there to make it 16-15. That's Bryce's first ace of the day, 7th of the contest for Lyman. Had 3 in the first set alone. Hansen serves again. Condis with the return. Calls off Bugas. Outside to Meeks. Cross quarter. Bradshaw with a great return. Bump set from Walker to Air. Pushes it just over the line. Meeks to Timms. Outside to Rinker. And it's a flip over as it's deflected off the block, and Bradshaw gets it up. Air on the attack. Bugas watches it in. Then to Hutchings at the middle of court. It's Rinker again on a touch. 16-15, right side attack. Nelson is blocked by Rinker. Flip back over the net by Walker. Back to Mountain View side. Hutchings dumps it down, but will she be called for a lift? No, it's all legal. 17-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First kill of the day for Camry Hutchings comes on the flip over the net on the left side. 17-15 and a 2-point lead for Mountain View. Lyman leading 2-1. Allie Rinker serving. Haley Stevens has been the leading attacker for Mountain View in this contest. A little one-handed right-hand punch serve up. A return up by Bugas keeps it in play. Flip from Harris over 2 blockers back to Mountain View side. Stevens winds up cross quarter. It's into the hands of Bradshaw. Set up Walker, and Air goes to the left of the antenna. Toes it over the line. It's all legal. To the middle, it's Meeks on the setup from Hutchings, and a kill for Olivia Meeks. Makes it 18-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 5 kills, 2 blocks for Olivia Meeks, the sophomore attacker out of the middle position. Most of both of these teams returns next year. 3 seniors on both sides. Right side attack will be negated for Lyman as a double hit. No, as a net touch on Emma Nelson. Timeout taken by Lyman. They trail 19-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. We'll be back in 30 seconds on a First Bank presentation of Lyman and Mountain View Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com. Here on an elimination game at Regional, Mountain View leads in the 4th set, 19-15.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
19-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman leads 2-1 here, but Mountain View in set number 4 with a 4-point lead, 19-15, getting into the latter points. Allie Rinker serving for Mountain View on the left side of the net. Day 2 of regionals, consolation semifinal. Winner plays either Lander or Powell. I believe it's Lander. On the right side, it's to the middle on a setup from Walker to Nelson. Picked up by Bugus in the back line for Mountain View, and a high shot up for Stevens. Returned into the net, and Air can't dig it out. 20-15 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View takes a 5-point advantage. Allie Rinker serves. 5 points away from forcing a 5th to 15. Bump set Walker to the right side. It's Harris. Gets under the ball. Rinker flips it in and under the net. 20-16. Madison Harris serving. High long serve. Rinker to Hutchings, then to Meeks. She's blocked, but blocked out of bounds. Point back to Mountain View, 21-16. Serve back to Mountain View. It's Casey Bugus with it. Dribbles it a couple times, spins it around to the left hand, approaches, jump serve is a power one to the back right corner. High return by Bradshaw, just avoids skiffing the bottom of the basketball hoop. Power shot by Kendall Dickerson, as hard as we've seen her swing, or maybe any Lyman Eagle swing all year long. Makes it 21-17, season on the line, pulling out all stops, and the sophomore Kendall Dickerson powers it down. So Dr. McKay Franken precision play of the game for the Lyman side of Kendall Dickerson with that shot to the back right corner of Mountain View. 21-17. Hutchings with the setup to Stevens down the line, and point for Mountain View. 22-17. Ashley Timms checks in. Camry Hutchings serving. And she serves it over. To the right side, Bradshaw, the opposing libero, with the first touch up. Backline attack from Hansen. Good shot up. In the back middle, it's Bugus with the first touch. Stevens down the line. Another kill for Haley Stevens. Yet another shot for Haley. Makes it 23-17 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And Hutchings still on the serve. High and long and just inbounds. Bump over at the 10-foot line at the middle of the court from Air. Back to Mountain View side. A chance to terminate here for Stevens. And she does just that. 3 kills in a row for Haley. She was pretty slow in the 4th set. Those are her only 3 kills to her name in set number 3, but she's now got up to 18. 24-17, set point number 1 for Mountain View. And it's out of bounds. 24-18, set point number 2. A win here for Mountain View when we play 5. A comeback for Lyman, and they advance to state, and Mountain View is eliminated. Bugus on the first touch. Timms on the outside with the attack is blocked by Dickerson. Hutchings gets the setup this time to Stevens to end it. It's high and it's over. If it touches anything, it's all out of bounds, but no, it doesn't. It's all legal, just over. Return by Bugus. Dellinger with the cross-court shot. Brooklyn Walker makes a long run to set up Hansen on a sharp cross. Rinker shakes the return. Bugus controls it, and it's over the back by Hutchings. Returned by Bradshaw on the Lyman side. Walker sets to the middle. Dickerson tips it over 2 blockers. Timms with the first touch, that being Ashley Timms to the back line. Rinker attacks, and it's an illegal back line attack for Allie Rinker. She stepped over the line, or she was stepping on the line as the attack went up. 24-19 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Set point number 3 for Mountain View. Mandy Air serves on the Lyman side. Attack Mountain View. Backline attack. Bugus into the net. 24-20. It's set point number 3 now. And number 4. Set point number 4. 24-20 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, or Air just over the net. Bugus on the return, right side attack, and a push from Stevens. Picked up, now back in system for Mountain View in the attack for Lyman. Sharp cross, push up by Stevens. She wants to end it, and not going to get a chance this time. It's just a push over to survive. On to Lyman, it's to the outside. Hansen, big cross quarter, and Rinker returns it, but a net touch negates something. It's a net touch on Mountain View. On number 10, that's Kylie Dellinger. 21, set point number 5, Mountain View. Mandier continues to serve, and a timeout taken by the Buffs. We'll be back. Set point number 5 when we return on this First Bank presentation of Mountain View versus Lyman Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just
24-21 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as we welcome you back to Lander Valley High School. Set point number 5 for Mountain View in set 4. They trail 2-1. This would force a 5th. And this is an elimination game. The loser's season is over. The winner advances to state to play in the 3rd-4th regional matchup at 1 p.m. Serve over from Mandier to the outside. It's Haley Stevens into the net, and set point number 6. As Lyman continues to survive here. Air serving 24-22. High return from Dellinger. Hutchings to Stevens again. 2 blockers on her. Blocked by Kendall Dickerson. 24-23. And we are at 1 point away from an even matchup. This is set point number 6. Timeout taken. Is that where we're at? Set point number 7. They had it at 24-18. It's now 24-23 on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
24-23 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View working on set point number 7. This is like, in some ways, maybe not, at least as far as set points goes, back to set 1 a week and a day ago when Mountain View converted on set point number 7 to win 31-29. The difference is it was not being tied up, then 1 point lead tied up. This has just been a run back from Lyman. They lead it. Lyman does 2-1. The winner goes to state. The loser's season is over. Mandier serves it over for Lyman. Back to play to the right side. Stevens bounces it down off the tape. A sharp cross kill for Haley Stevens. And we will play 5 here in Lander. Mountain View and Lyman when we return the final to 15.
With MyLocalRadio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the 2 schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by MyLocalRadio.com. Stay connected.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
We're here to help strengthen our community. Yes, that's right. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we take pride in belonging to our community. We encourage people of every race, gender, and belief to come together and give their all towards the betterment of our community. It's about people helping people. When you join our credit union, you also join a movement. At Trona Valley, we are thankful for our members, member NCUA, trust NCUA, a credit union system that is safe, sound, and secure.
Well, we get as much volleyball as we possibly can out of these two teams as they both went 1-1 yesterday. They meet up in this regional contest, day 2, semifinal of the consolation bracket, and the rule is win 2 before you lose 2. And at the end of this 5th set, best of 15, unless of course it goes higher, which we've seen Mountain View and Lyman do throughout this year, one of these teams will have won 2 and the other will have lost. We talked in the pregame with both of the coaches about how it just doesn't quite seem really a total victory on either side of that. They like to have both teams in the state tournament. Bridger Valley having Lyman and Mountain View both in says a lot for a small community, and this year they're going to have one eliminate the other. So a melancholy finish in Uinta County one way or another. But for the team on the left or the team on the right, they're thinking all about their state dreams next Thursday at the Casper Event Center. Mountain View on the left side of the net, Lyman on the right, both still in the huddle as we have the clock ticking down to 40 seconds. And no surprise here as they could be looking at their final set huddle of the year to take all of the time that they can. Both coaches down on one knee. Brescia Hansen has her players who will be starting on the bench. Mountain View has everyone huddled around in a circle. Mountain View breaks the circle first at 28 seconds. Coach Hansen still talking to her players. For Mountain View, Allie Rinker, Kylie Dellinger, Camry Hutchings, Ashley Timms, Olivia Meeks about to be replaced by Casey Bugas, and Haley Stevens to start. And the opening serve is Mountain View's on the left side of the net, and it's Haley Stevens with it. Now breaking the huddle for Lyman on the right. Kendall Dickerson, Brooklyn Walker, Sierra Heaton, Mandy Ayer, Madison Harris, and Bryce Hansen. Madison Harris replaced by the freshman libero, Sage Bradshaw. And we're set to play. All but the official from the up, or the whistle from the up official. There it is. And set 5, the final, is an ace by Haley Stevens to start the contest. And Mountain View takes the early lead, abbreviated set to 15. Haley Stevens, third ace of the day. 1-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Hansen on the return this time. Outside, Bryce gets the ensuing attack. High return goes into the hands of Stevens. Then over the net on a setup from Hutchings. No, that was Timms on the setup, rather. Outside attack, it's a cross-court kill by Allie Rinker. 1 ace, 1 kill, and 2-0 Mountain View. You get 2 timeouts in an abbreviated set, just like a normal 1-25. Wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Hansen take a quick one here if it goes much longer. Return over the net, touchdown, and a dig out by Hansen. No, that was rather Kendall Dickerson keeps us in play. What a great save by Dickerson, the sophomore. Outside Rinker, sharp cross-court attack picked up by Bradshaw. Backline attack over the net by Ayer. It's Hutchings to the right side, and cross-court attack by Ashley Timms, picked up by Ayer. Walker back to Hansen, 8 feet from the net, cross-quarter. It's picked up by Stevens. Then to Rinker on the ensuing attack. They're going cross to cross to cross and picked up once again. Back to Hansen. It's heavy outside to outside. This time Stevens on the first touch on the attack by Hansen. Give it to Rinker. She pushes it over the block, and it's down for the point. 3-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Hansen says keep playing. Encourages her team from the sideline. 3-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 2 kills for Allie Rinker. An ace for Haley Stevens. Serves it again, does Stevens. Returned by Bradshaw to the backside. It's Kendall Dickerson. She had that great attack in the 4th set with it kind of rattled and reverberated throughout the gym. This time it's blocked and bumped over on the 3rd attack on for Lyman side. Back to Mountain View. Backline attack from Bugas. To the middle, it's Dickerson. Hard shot deflected on the block though. Camry Hutchings with the first touch. Probably should have let Bugas take it. Instead it's a bump set from Bugas to Rinker and then back to Lyman. On the outside, it's Hansen tipping it over 2 blockers and falls between Hutchings and Allie Rinker. First point of the day, or of the set, for Lyman. Bryce Hansen gets that point. Kendall Dickerson back to serve. 3-1 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kendall Dickerson serves over to Bugis. It's a good return up, sets to Hutchings, and then Allie Rinker under the ball. Makes it 3-2. Rinker sends it out of bounds, and Dickerson with her second serve. 3-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Dickerson to serve again. Bugis on the return up. Hutchings to the right side. Dellinger winds up. Line shot for Kylie Dellinger. 4-2 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. All 4 points for Mountain View have been earned. 3 kills, 1 ace. Caitlin Timms, the serving specialist, back to serve for the Buffs. Timms on the serve over. Goes to the back right side. Returned over the net by Bradshaw, or just about, and then a missed play by Timms at the net results in a point for Lyman. 4-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Just one of Lyman's point has been earned so far. They'll take it, though. They need everything they can get. 1st to 15, and it's 4 for Mountain View, 3 for Lyman. Brooklyn Walker serving for the Eagles of Lyman. High return from Condis. Makes a bit of a run for Hutchings, and it's to the outside. Push over by Meeks. Jump set from Nelson to the outside. Hansen. Diving save from Bugis. Hutchings to the outside again. It's Rinker cross quarter. Picked up by Air. They're going heavy outside in this 5th set. Line shot by Hansen. Everything's legal. No, a net touch on Bryce. A net touch called by the down. I thought I saw her get shot into it. And the point to Mountain View. A great attack. But Bryce got caught in the net. The down official, Donna Bruce, called it out. And rightfully so. That was the play. Emily Bugis with the send over on the serve. 5-3 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Return over the net from Condis on the cross-court return. Outside, no to the middle. Madison Harris tips it over the block. Condis gets it up 1-2, a third over by Meeks, but out of bounds. Point to Lyman. 5-4 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 2 sets to 2 sets. And a serve over, just touched up by Rinker, then Hutchings, and then bumped over by Condis. First touch by Hansen, then to Walker on the Lyman side. Air with the attack on the cross court. Condis right to Hutchings. Has options. Ops to the outside. Tipped over on a little two-handed push by Rinker. Air bumped up in the third is a bump over by Sage Bradshaw. 5-4 the score. Mountain View on top. A long run and a left-handed punch over on the cross court shot from Rinker. Now to Air. She gets a shot and has options. Emily Bugis, a pancake is up, but it's a third into the net. Stays on Mountain View side. 5-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 10 points have been scored. 5-5. Bryce Hansen with the send over and an ace. A lift called on Camry Hutchings. We'll give the ace to Bryce there. 6-5 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Another great serve, but this one just a bit shy. Stays on Lyman's side as it bounces on the tape and snaps back down to the Eagles' side of the court. 6-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Allie Rinker serves. Walker sets up to Air. She is partially blocked by Meeks, but a kill for Air as it stays on the Mountain View side. Harris with a 7-6 lead in favor of Lyman. Final set, just to 15. Loser's season is over. Harris to Bugis. On the serve over, it's a Haley Stevens attack. Picked up on the line from Brooklyn Walker. Bumped over by Dickerson. Bugis to Hutchings and then high and outside to Stevens. It's not a good set though, so she just has to push it over. Nelson to Air, over the block. Bugis pushes it up. Rinker on the second and the third. Nobody's got it. 8-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman with a 2-point lead. We're 14 in. No sign of a timeout yet by either side. Coach Hansen let her team go down 3-0. Now Coach Timms has her Mountain View team down 2. Return and a dump set over from Hutchings. Picked up by Hansen. They watch for that one. Line shot from Air. Picked up by Bugis. And a shot down the line. Oh, no, it's a cross court rather by Stevens. A diving save from Hansen. Bump over. It's Air on the bump. Hutchings has options. Ops middle, and Meeks is blocked. Bump up from Meeks over to the left side of the net. Push by Stevens. 8-6 the score. Lyman on top. Backline attack. It's Hansen just over the net. Hutchings to Bugis, and they keep it alive. And a dump over by Rinker. Walker to the back line again. It's Hansen. Back to Bugus, then Hutchings on the outside. Stevens winds up off the blocking hands. It softened up the blow, though, rather. So Air gets an attack for Lyman. Deflected shot, tied on the net, and a bump over to the back line. It's Rinker from Hutchings. 8-6 the score. Still in play to the middle. Dickerson winds up, and it was out of bounds, but I thought I saw Casey Bugus get a hand on it. Nope, no hand. Point to Mountain View. Early on, all the points were earned for Mountain View, but as of late, it's been a lot of out-of-bounds shots for both sides. An ace by Hansen. 8-7. Casey Bugus serving. She has one ace today. Back middle is where she goes to Hansen. Middle attack, it's Air! Tools the block of Kylie Dellinger, and Lyman back up by 2. And still no sign of a timeout. Subs in. Sierra Heaton replaces Emma Nelson. 2 kills for Mandy in the set, 1 for Bryce Hansen on the Lyman side. Back left court reserve received up, and a long push over for Stevens on a sharp cross as it was just a bad setup. To the outside, Air tools off the block. Picked back up by Emily Bugus, though. Outside Stevens rather gets a cross-court kill just past Bryce Hansen. 3 kills for Haley Stevens in the set. No, that's her first kill. 2 kills for Allie Rinker. 8-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman on top. Mountain View with the serve, and the ace by Camry Hutchings ties it up at 9. Camry, the 4th Mountain View player today with an ace. Comes in the 5th set. 7 aces for the Buffs altogether. 9-9, and Hutchings serves again. It's a good return by Hansen. Goes to the right side, then to the middle. On the attack, it's Mandy Air from the middle with the kill. 10-9 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mandy Air, her 3rd kill of the 5th set. 15 in the game. Bryce Hansen with 19. Air serves it over. That puts Bryce up into the front line at outside for Lyman, and a shot from the right side. Haley Stevens gets her last opportunity kill from that right side. Zone 2 back to serve as Stevens in a tied up game 10 all. Stevens, a senior, started off the 5th set. Possibly her last with an ace. Sends it over again. Walker with the setup to Hansen. A good shot in the cross court, but Stevens gets the receive. And a pickup. Rinker. A little short cross there. And Bryce Hansen blocked or out of bounds. No, she hit the antenna. It was out of bounds on the attack. Point Mountain View. They lead it 11-10. Again, set 5 here. Regional elimination game between Mountain View and Lyman. Winner has a match next week in state. Walker sets up for Lyman to the right side. Dickerson tips it over the single coverage. And that's outside to Rinker. 2 blockers on her. She goes sharp cross as a result. High return by Bradshaw. Push from Hansen. Picked up Rinker. Right side attack. Timms, the freshman, just gets it over the line on a sharp cross. Walker to Hansen, and she shoots it over from the left side. Bump set from Hutchings. 10-foot line attack, and Rinker is blocked by Dickerson. Timms goes down to the ground, making the return. Up backline push from Stevens. And it's back to Walker at the middle. And Dickerson, a hard shot, but just out of bounds. 12-10 Mountain View, and here we have a timeout. The first of the 5th set. Mountain View leads 12-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board over Lyman here on the Regional Consolation semifinal match of the morning. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
12-10 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, set number 5. Mountain View and Lyman here in the Regional Consolation semifinal. Day 2 action. Winner plays for 3rd at 1. Loser can start taking that long bus ride home and think about next year if they have it. 12-10, Mountain View with the lead and has Haley Stevens serving it over to Lyman's side. Outside attack, Bryce Hansen punches it over. Camry Hutchings on the first touch for Mountain View, and then a 3 bumps and over for Mountain View. Back to Lyman. It's Brooklyn Walker to the middle. No, it's to the outside and off the single coverage block. Bryce Hansen with the point back out of the break. 12-11 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Bryce Hansen, kill number 20 to make it an even day for Hansen. Cortland Condis encouraging the back line of Rinker and Bugis. She'll play right back. Kendall Dickerson on the serve. Lyman on the right side of the net sends it over to the left of Mountain View. Casey Bugis to Hutchings, then to the right side. Dellinger, kill! It was deflected off the right side block of Bryce Hansen, and that changed the trajectory to make it 13-11. Kylie Dellinger on the day. 3 kills, 2 blocks. Timeout number 2 taken by Mountain View. It's 13-11. Mountain View over Lyman on this First Bank presentation of regional volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor.
Cut that break short here as it's 13-11 and Mountain View serving Lyman in set number 5. Caitlin Timms with the serves. It's out of bounds. 13-12 right out of the break. Point back to Lyman. I said Mountain View took that timeout. It was Lyman taking the timeout over the break. The team down by 2, and that was their second, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah, second timeout. Brooklyn Walker serves. 1-point differential between the two teams. Return Condis for the Buffs. Outside attack, it's Rinker. Sharp cross. Good save, though, by Bradshaw, though. Hansen off 2 blockers. Stuffed down by Timms. Push over Walker, and Meeks flips it back over the net. It's tied on the line, and a double hit from Harris puts us at match point number 1 and season point against Lyman. Mountain View with the lead, 14-12. Lyman down to their final hope and prayer. Emily Bugis serving for the Buffs. It's over to Air. Walker at the middle. Hansen cross. It's blocked, and that's the match. Olivia Meeks blocks it, and Mountain View advances on to state. Meeks is found at the center of the court by everyone on the Mountain View bench as they have just advanced to state. On the Lyman side, their season is over. 15-12, the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View defeats Lyman on their 3rd and final attempt. And that's it. We'll be back at 1 o'clock for a third place match as Mountain View and I believe Lander will take on each other. But that's it on the Lyman Eagles season. We'll take a break, run through stats, and close this one out on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman volleyball on MyLocalRadio.com.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep. In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member NCUA.
Well, we're going to have to switch gyms, so we'll have a quick post-game show here. Time now to hand out the Dr. McKay Franco Precision Plays of the game for Lyman. I'm giving it to Kendall Dickerson. In the fourth set, she had a power shot down and then a block late in the contest as well, as Lyman ended up losing that set, but Dickerson had a good game, and she had, I think, 3 kills and one block there. For Mountain View, it goes to Olivia Meeks for that set point and match point and season continuing point on the block on Bryce Hansen. Not an easy player to block, and she blocked it right down and inbounds. Points for the winning team. Lyman, or for Mountain View, Allie Rinker, 17 kills. Haley Stevens, 17 kills, 3 blocks, 3 aces. Olivia Meeks, 6 kills and 3 blocks. Kylie Dellinger, 3 kills, 2 blocks. Ashley Timms, 4 kills. Camry Hutchings, 1-1-1, a kill, a block, and an ace. And then Emily Bugas had 2 aces. Casey Bugas with 1 ace as well. For Lyman, 20 kills for Bryce Hansen and a block. Mandy Ayer, 15 kills in the game. I get Kendall with, there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I had 5 kills and 2 blocks. Madison Harris, 2 kills, 4 blocks from Emma Nelson. And then on the ace side, Sierra Heaton with 2, Brooklyn Walker with 2, Mandy Ayer with 1, Madison Harris with 1, Kendall Dickerson with 1, and 2 from Bryce Hansen. We'll have to close things out right there. Again, Mountain View advances. They'll play Lander, I believe, in about a half hour from now over in the main gym. So we need to switch that and get ready for that contest. We'll go on shortly before the start of that on mylocalradio.com. This has been a First Bank presentation of Mountain View and Lyman Volleyball on mylocalradio.com.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Cook Brothers Broadcasting and Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this mylocalradio.com exclusive. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Bridger Valley broadcasts, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Eagles and go Buffs.